Alrighty, we'll go ahead and begin. Welcome to Canva greeting cards. I'm Caitlin Tips, and I'm a Public Services Librarian Senior with Plano Public Library, and I will be presenting today's program. I am joined today by Stephanie, who will be monitoring the chat for me today. Do you want to say hi, Stephanie?
Hi, everyone.
So before we begin, we need to let you know about some ground rules that we've set up for today's program. You will be muted during this class, and we have your video blocked. You will only see the instructor's screen. At the top of your screen, you can find an exit full screen option if you need to get to other things on your computer. You are welcome to ask questions or request that the instructor repeat information at any time during today's program. You should see an icon at the bottom of your screen that says chat. Click on that to open the chat window. Chat is set to be seen by library staff only. If you prefer, you may also use the Q&A feature located at the bottom of your screen to ask questions. Please note that any inappropriate questions or comments will cause your immediate removal from today's class. For all questions, we may answer you directly in the chat or Q&A box. Hold the question until a break or the end of class, or ask the question at the time if it is pressing. We will be using the instructor's screen to demonstrate and may share additional resources in chat as well. A recording of today's program will be available in a few days. So if you would like to watch today's program and practice with the recording later, that is also an option. So with all of those ground rules out of the way, let's get started. Today, we will be providing a detailed overview of the Canva software for greeting card design. This will include website design features and a demonstration. This website is available to all for free and includes a premium subscription option for more frequent users. For more information on how to use Canva, check out Plano Public Library's YouTube channel for a recording of our Canva workshop series. Now, before we do jump too much further, I do want to share that the instructors are not graphic design experts. We are librarians. The purpose of today is to provide a general overview of the Canva website and how it can be used to create greeting cards. And the information in this program is accurate as of the time of this program recording. For graphic design expertise, please utilize the LinkedIn Learning or Udemy resource that is free with a Plano Public Library card. You can register online at planolibrary.org for a library card for more information. All right, so let's jump into what is Canva. So Canva is an online graphic design platform. It is used to create social media graphic, presentations, posters, documents, videos, and other visual content. There are templates, stock images and video, and many other tools to help you achieve your branding and promotional goals. Or in this case, just fun ways to achieve that personal graphic look that you've been looking for your social media, for your friends, for invitations, for today, our greeting card goal. A little bit about Canva. Canva has been around since 2012 and over the years has added a plethora of features to make this a powerhouse of a marketing tool, as well as just a household name for graphic design tools. So this is especially great for people who aren't particularly design savvy or have the time to create content from scratch. So it's super easy to use. Now, how are we using Canva? Well, Canva is online, and though they do have a desktop and mobile app, you still need to make an account. There are different account types, including a free version, and each account type comes with specific features. So first, you go to canva.com to sign up for your account. You will need an email address at the very least. Once you have your account made, you will need to choose the type of account you want. The free account costs $0, but also only has basic features. If you're just starting out, you might want to play around in a free account to get the feel of the space and what you want to use it for. Now, Canva Pro is typically for a single person, perhaps a business owner or a freelancer who wants to access more features like stock photos and video, hundreds of thousands more templates to utilize for setting up a brand kit, special tools like background remover and magic resize, and it also comes with 1 TB of storage. The other option is Canva for Teams, which is everything you would get in the Pro account, but built for more people. You can have the main account plus 4 more team members who all have access to the same brand kit, templates, and designs. There are ways you can lock down elements, like if you only want your team to use particular fonts, so that everything stays on brand. This is a great collaboration tool. Now, if you're an educator or work in a nonprofit, there are options to have more features without paying for them. You'll just need to jump through a few extra steps. However, once you have your account set up, you can look around. We're going to be using a free Canva account today, but you should still be able to see all of the features available for card design. Are there any questions about Canva and setup or getting access to Canva at all? Okay, I'm going to guess no, but please feel free to type your questions in the chat at any time. We're happy to answer them. Okay, so today is all about that greeting card. So what is a greeting card? The simple definition is that it's a decorated card with a message of good wishes that is sent or given to someone on a special occasion. It can be mailed to an individual, gifted in person, or even sent electronically. They are generally categorized as everyday or special occasions. Now, what types of cards are out there? So we mentioned earlier that there are 2 main categories of cards, everyday and special occasions. Some examples of these are for everyday, a blank just because card to send a nice greeting or a message. There's also encouragement and support cards, friendship cards, get well soon cards, and appreciation cards, messages that just say, thank you so much for all that you do. Now, the special occasion cards, those include more of what you think of when you think of getting a card. It's that happy birthday message, or congratulations on your wedding, congratulations on your graduation, or anniversary, or those big holiday events. But really, your card can be whatever you need it to be. It really is at the core of it, just a special message between you and the intended recipient. So it's a lot of fun to create your own special custom card and something different than what you can find in store. Now, on that note, what should you include on your card? So in general, you want to make sure you have some sort of graphic element. You want to make sure you have a readable font for your message. Sometimes you want to have a thematic message, such as that congratulations, happy birthday, best wishes, etc. And of course, you want to have space to handwrite a personal message if your e-card's going to be print. Now, if you're doing something electronically, that last portion is not as necessary. But if your intention with creating a greeting card is for print usage, it's always nice to include space for you to sign your name or to include space for more friends and family to write messages, just as a special consideration. All right. So with that overview complete, we're going to move on to our greeting card demonstration. Okay, so give me just 1 second here while I switch my screen from the PowerPoint to Canva. All right, everyone should now see canva.com. Is that correct? Okay. So we will start with exploring the workspace. As mentioned earlier, Canva is browser-based, but you can also access it via desktop or mobile app. Canva does change things up on their workspace when they add new features, so it may not look exactly like this when you're using it. So once you've logged in, this is typically what you're going to see. You're going to see your account information in this upper right corner. You're going to see a panel with options for navigation over here on the left-hand side. You're going to see a mini bar at the top of your screen, generally along that left-hand side. But first, before we get too much further, we want to go ahead and dive a little bit more into these account settings, because if you hover over these icons, you can find this one that looks like a cog, a gear wheel. And we're going to go ahead and select that just to look at our account preferences. So you can see what any of these settings here are for. You can switch your intended usage, adjust your name if you need to edit it. If it pulled directly from your email and that's not what you want to show, you can add a photo. You can scroll down and disconnect your account. If you prefer a different color scheme for your view of Canva, you can make it dark or light, whatever's easier on your eyes. You can also, this is where you can also change your account from the free version to a paid one. So this, I like to go over it just so you know where everything is. So you can update your password, so you can manage message preferences if need be, because you may sign up for this and decide that you don't want any emails. You can also manage your privacy concerns and go more in depth here as well. Again, with that out of the way, we're going to go back to that home, which if you click this Canva logo here in the left-hand corner, that's another home button. If you're on the workspace and you navigate through these different options, there's generally a back to home option to get back to this home section. All right. So just a little bit more about this workspace is that it always looks different. This Meet Magic Studio was not there the last time I had logged in. So this is fairly recent and new. Now we're here to create a greeting card. So what's the best way of going about this? Because Canva has several different project options, template options, customization options. So I want to start off with pointing out how you find some fun templates. So templates within Canva are made by many people within the Canva platform and other designers. So you can find a variety of templates already created, which you can then adjust and customize for your own needs and use. Now, the difference between the templates and projects is where you are storing all of your designs, but it's a bit more organized than just the recent designs on the main workspace, which if you scroll down, you can see this recent design category. But having your files organized in this projects area really helps you manage and just find what you're looking for in a super simple way. So now that we have that out of the way, we're going to get to templates right here. We're going to click on templates, and you can see here it's already recommending things to me and trying to highlight different types of projects. Now, none of these are what I'm doing today. I really want that cards, but you can look through here on the top and see a whole bunch of geared lists for different templates. So if you're never sure of or not quite sure what you're trying to do, you can just scroll through here to select something kind of fun, or you can type up here, card, and see what kind of pops up. So you've got card templates. So there's a bunch of options. It's going to start with the most generic or high use templates, most popular. first. And it also has you that create a blank card option. So if there's one here that you're like, oh, that looks cool, you can select it to open it and get editing right away. Now, an important thing to note, I said earlier, this is working in the free option, but Canva does have paid tiered options. So how do you tell what's free and how do you tell what is not? Well, it's quite easy. It's anything that has this crown option on it. So anything that has that crown is a pro feature. It's that premium option. So what we're looking for is our designs or templates that have no crown attached to it. And there's still plenty of options to work with without getting that premium option. So we're just going to work with something simple. We're going to work with happy birthday, but we can maybe take one of these other thank you options and adjust it or scroll down and see another happy birthday option. So I like that simple calligraphy. That's really a nice design. If we scroll down, you can see it's a lot of thank you. It's a lot of variety of designs here. So maybe I actually want to scroll back up and narrow it down. So I made sure it was just cards now, but now I'm just getting a lot of thank you. So if you click that all filters, sometimes it'll give you more options, more themes, topic. It's not specific enough. So we're just going to go back up to this search bar and we're going to type birthday cards. Happy birthday card. And now we can see specifically happy birthday. So these are templates that have that tag of happy birthday attached to it, which makes pulling it up better. So if you're not sure, but you want to see a lot of options, go more generic with your search terms for templates. If you want something specific, like we do right now for happy birthday messages, then go more specific. And again, we're looking for designs without that premium option. I believe if we go over here under feature, we can also narrow it down to free. We can. So we can select free, so we don't have to see the pro options, and we're going to apply that. And now all the designs that we see here are going to be free, and we can select them, edit, and make it our own. All right, so a lot of these are very fun. I like the simple messages. Oh, I like the flowers. I like this as well. So you can select templates like this to see it bigger because it's kind of hard to see all the details just from that small preview. Once you have that open though, you can still click through different options in order. So navigation is still pretty easily. If you like a certain style as well, you can scroll down and see more options like that. Just be aware, again, options will say paid or that premium pro option. So it's a good thing to still be aware of if you're looking on this page. Now, if you decide that this template is one you want to work with, it matches the recipient's kind of vibe or it's that happy birthday message you want, then you select customize this template. If you want to save it as an option, you can also star it to indicate that this is a favorite design and it makes it easier to come back to. So we're going to customize this template, and this is going to take it to the editor workspace. All right, now here in the editor workspace, this is where you can create and edit your designs. So there are a few navigation toolbars we'll go over first. So here along the top, we have, so this blue top bar, just to be a little bit more specific, we have more menu options. So we have the home button, which will take you back to that home screen for Canva, just that like if you click Canva, it takes you to that home page. Next to that, to the right, you have File, and there are a lot of menu options here, including the file name. So we're going to go ahead and click that real quick. You can see this top bar right here. That's the file name that you can edit. So this is the general Canva name. If we wanted to say specifically, this is a happy birthday card for, we're going to say it's for our friend, Beth. So this is a card for Beth. That helps us edit it real quick and know our intention right away. Below that, you also have the same kind of options you would in a Word document. You have options to create new design. You can import files. You can view your settings for the workspace here if you needed to update language. The nice thing about Canva being browser-based is all changes are saved automatically. You can save it to a folder. You can duplicate the design. You can download it from here. This is a premium option, but it does also allow you to see version history, which is just tracking all of your changes. If you were collaborating, you could also see comments and change things automatically. But what we're focusing on here under Save is under the file options are Show Rules and Guides. This tells you how big it's going to be, which is again nice with understanding your intention. So if this is for print, if this is for digital, knowing the size of what you're working with is very important. So we want to show those rulers and guides. Now, again, under here, you can see some other options like add guides and show margins, show print bleeds. We can show margins. Margins are good for printing. So it's that kind of dashed line that has appeared now on the design. So it's just a good thing to be aware of. It may not be accurate because if you do export this design as a PNG or JPEG, then you have the option to then resize that image or print it to your page capacity in a separate software. Okay, continuing on, we have this middle area that I've been playing around with. You see all the things that are highlighting. This is your canvas. So this is where you will complete your design and everything you want to drag and drop, images you want on the design, text, etc., will go in this space. This is also where you can add pages. So if your card has a cover page and then it has an interior message, this is where you can add that. And because this is a single page card, I believe we will as part of this project. And then finally over here on the left, there's two things. So this is where all of your tools are and where you can find stock images and video, text, etc. Please note that this could look different when you start using Canva, depending on which template you choose, or if you're working on a mobile app, this could look different. But the key things here, so first you have design, and this opens this design panel. So if you open this in the editor space, this is that recently used design. If you changed your mind and you were like, I don't like this anymore, you could select another option just from that screen, which is nice. It makes it real easy in case you clicked customize and you're like, oh, I don't actually like this. You could select another design. Now underneath that design option, you have elements. And elements includes all of your graphics, images, video, etc., which is really nice to see it all in one place. However, again, please note that anything with a crown is that premium option. Okay, and underneath that, you have your text, and they do include different styles of text. So if you have something that's a heading or subheading, it allows you to basically apply that directly. Now, It does have these fun font combinations, and there are free options within this. So if you're looking for something different, it's not a bad place to scroll through and see if you like something there. But to see most font options, you have to add a text box. So let's just go ahead and do that real quick. And we're going to drag that kind of out of the way. Oh, whoops. If you do drag things off the workspace, it's kind of an easy way to discard. So we're going to go ahead and resize that, your paragraph text. Oh, my Zoom controls are covering it up. That's why I was looking for it. So here at the top, you have those font options. And again, if you're familiar at all with Microsoft Word or Google Docs, this should look familiar. It's the same setup where you have the font options here in the menu. You select that font and now it will appear over here in the font options for you to scroll through and try different styles. Okay, you also can control the size, same way, plus and minus. You can update the color. And again, it will update this panel over here on the left for each selection you make, except for the ones that apply directly to the text. Okay. Now, we're not really concerned with the brand option over here today because we're focusing more on the personal usage. Now, the upload files is fun because if you wanted to include a personal photo of your friend or a family photo to send out, this is where you could upload that. You can upload that there directly from your computer, or you could upload from a USB, whatever works best for y'all. But you can also add videos, you can also add audio. So if your greeting card is for an internet-based use, you can add a fun like group recording of Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays or Happy Birthday here. But Canva also has the ability to draw. So if you happen to be talented with the mouse and want to draw some sort of special message, this is where you can do that. And it does have customizable options for the color and the thickness. So if you wanted something more like a fine tip pen or a marker or even a highlighter style, it's all right there. But you do have the option to erase if you're like, whoops, I didn't know what I was doing there. And of course, an easy way to access previous projects. So again, it auto saves. So whatever you're currently working on should appear there when you open projects. And Canva does link to other applications. So you can scroll down and see what their current partners are. It's not something that I personally use a lot. So I would recommend just working with these top 3 and uploads for the most part. Are there any questions about the workspace, the editor workspace before we jump into making this card fantastic?
I think we're good so far.
Good deal. All right. So we've got happy birthday. We've got a fun message here. We've got an extra wonderful birthday message below. But let's say that we weren't a big fan of this color scheme and we wanted to change it up a bit. So when you select each of these items here, again, it kind of pops up with some quick options here at the top. So if we wanted to change this color from orange to a dark green, then we can select and update it that way. If we wanted that image a little bit more on the page as well, we could do that too. And Canva will pop up with these lines. You may see this purple dash line pop up, and that's helping you line things up with other objects on the design, whether it be the margins or that flower at the bottom left-hand corner or the leaf along the right-hand side. So I kind of like that. That's more on the page, and I feel like I'm getting more out of the space. Now this kind of gray here is a little dull. I think I want, ooh, I like that red. It kind of matches the font. And I think I want that font for happy a different color too. Now I'm just working within that thematic document colors kind of already there. So that's great if you're kind of like, I like the colors there. I just wish things were a little different. So you can make minor tweaks, or you can go to default colors and add more. You can even add um, some more custom options. So how do you do that? Well, you can type up here that you want pink, and it'll pull up all these different shades and even thematic shades. So if you were wanting to change up the entire look of this, then you could. You could change, you could select one of these like this sweet orchid and change all. So anything that was the initial color you selected would then change. And then if you select this, change all. So you can kind of go through and do similar things. Pink, we're going to go back to that sweet orchid. We're going to select different things and just kind of play with it. And it's amazing how color choice can really set the tone for everything you're doing. Now that's kind of fun to see as well, is this happy, when you drag it, you see it's actually written on a curve on a circle. So that's a fun feature to see and use. Things like that, typically you draw a circle and then you add text to that design. Or as you can see when you drag it, it's got a magic write option. So that's a fun feature within Canva to adjust either content or to add effects. I think I like the spacing there. And this is kind of our cover for the birthday card. So once you kind of go through and you tweak this enough, once you're at a point where you're kind of like, I'm happy with this, I think I like everything with it. Another thing to just be aware of, if you're ever selecting something and you're like, that's not what I meant to select, and you want to select something below, you can go through here to your layers and assign something to the back and try selecting it again. Let's see, that's still, oh, pulling both of them. So they must be grouped. That's a fun feature. It's definitely below that kind of lily pad now. So maybe let's bring that to the front again. Interesting. So it's not letting us change all of that. Maybe it is grouped. See, and this is part of the fun of once you get into a design and you're going through to figure out how do you edit things, how do you make it more personal, is you come across elements of a design that maybe you're like, I don't actually like that anymore, because you want to customize it. So if that happens, it's pretty easy just to delete something and decide to replace it with something else. So if that's the case, you're going to go up here to elements and you're going to go to your graphics here. And you can see that there's a bunch here within the design. So it could be really nice to scroll through and see if there's something here that you want to use. That's kind of similar, or that's more along the sign choice that you like. So we've got those kind of dots, and the leaf was kind of a nice contrast to that. So we could search for leaf. and see what comes up. We can add those filters in. Well, it doesn't allow us to filter out the premium content, but we can still scroll down and see if there's anything we like better that's gonna fit our design, right? I think something simple will be kind of nice. This kind of fits the vibe too. So we could drag that onto our design and see if something like that could work. We can change the layer to behind. Kind of like that. I think I want it a little bigger. We just want that portion. And then let's play with that color again. So we're going to go back to this theme that I've kind of chosen. I like the pink for the leaf. I'm going to click that brown and try again and change that to a dark green. I select that kind of taupey color and change it to yellow. I don't know if I like the yellow. I feel like maybe more purple. Kind of go back on colors a little bit. So we might change that purple to that kind of that lighter green, I think. And this is what you're doing. You're just personalizing this in a way that you're like, I like this. This makes me happy. Once you do like something, if you want to use it again on the page, it's easy to duplicate. So there was that duplicate option right here. So when you select an item, it has that plus sign, it has that delete option, it has more options. And this is just, again, pulling up that alignment, pulling up that layer option, copy, paste. If you want to make sure something doesn't move, like if you click and drag and you've got things layered and you want to make sure you don't move something, you can lock it. Good things just to be aware of. So I think what we want to do now is rotate this. So down here in the middle, there's those two kind of arrows going in a circle. That's what we're going to use to rotate. We're going to rotate it kind of like so. We're going to make it bigger again, and we're going to send backward. And I'm missing my dots, so we're going to send backward again. And when in doubt, just send it all the way to the back. Now we've got our dots back. And you can see as well, there's a white bar that's actually making sure that this doesn't go on top. So maybe we actually want it to bring forward. So we're in front of that white bar, but we still have our dots in front. So once we do that, we can kind of bring it forward again and see if we like that. Now it's kind of bleeding into our message there, so maybe we don't want it that far, but I don't mind that. I think we do need to change the color of that pond there a little bit. I think we're going to go for that green. And now that gets our kind of front page how we like it. We're going to add a page, and you'll notice that it doesn't pull that design automatically over onto it. Now, if this is your front and this is your interior, then what you want to include here is just a simple message, or you can leave it blank just in case you want it wholly for you to write your message to your recipient. If you want to add some kind of graphics, you can. You can even pull graphics from the previous page. You can click that duplicate and drag it down. So if you're like, I'm going to leave this blank for a personal message, then you could have it on the page as something extra and just leave the rest of the space for writing if print is your intended usage. If you're going to send this electronically, then you may not need a second page. You could delete it and send it as is. But how do you get to that point? So if this is your design, if this is everything you want it to be, then how do you send it? So I mentioned earlier with file that you can make a copy, you can download it. So you can download from here, and it pulls up this window in the upper right-hand corner, and it's going to pull a suggested file type. PNG is typically the suggested format, and PNG stands for Portable Network Graphics, and it's best for your complex images and illustrations is what it says. Now you can definitely do a JPEG. You can also do PDF as an option. The only premium download option is for SVG files. And these are typically linear based designs or animations or things specifically meant for the web. So once you do that, you can control the size of whatever you download in terms of pixels. So if you know something needs to be a certain size, you can do it that way. Now, these are premium options, transparency and compression. But typically whatever it defaults to is going to be just fine. Now, once you have those settings made, you want to select download, and it's going to load for a little bit, and it's going to pull up into your download option within the browser, as well as on your computer in the file manager under downloads. That's where you can find that. Now, are there any questions about editing a pre-made template for colors or graphics, or if you're adjusting text or anything like that? Feel free to think about it as well. Now, if you're sharing this electronically, you can click share, and you can also download directly from there for your format. You also have the option to send a collaboration link if you want someone else to review your design before you print it. You can also send a view only link. You can share on social media. So if you're wanting to post this message to a social media page like Instagram or Facebook, you can actually pre-select those and have it link your account to post it. The nice thing about that is it will auto fit to the size parameters of those social medias. Now, if you're just wanting to send this in an email, I recommend just going ahead and downloading it as a PNG and then attaching that or embedding it in your email. Now, what if we just want to create our own custom design? What if we don't want to work with something pre-made within Canva? Well, there is an option to do a custom custom card, and you can do that. This is our workspace for custom. I already pre-opened one, but how do you get to a page like this? So if you go back here, you go back to home. So we're gonna auto default back to the home page. If you type that card option in the search bar, you may remember that there's that create a blank card option. So when you click on that, it takes you to this blank option. So we already have that open, and it is 7 by 5 inches. So it's a pretty standard card size. Now this is also landscape orientation. Now, if we wanted to adjust that, how do we do that? Well, we're going to go up here to design. Actually, it's not what we're doing. So I'm blanking on adjusting this. Typically, whenever I've done it before, it's been here in the lower options of the screen. Position doesn't pull it up. That's just our document colors. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I'm just blanking on that for a moment. 1 second. Okay. Show margin. So actually, it may be that that's a premium option and that your template for whatever example you open is set to that time and resizing it is a premium option. So I didn't think about that before. Um, so we all learned something new. Um, However, I will say again, when you're working with Canva like this, if you're wanting it um, a different size, my recommendation would just be to work within the size here. And when you export it to a PNG, you can reorient it to your desired format. So if you wanted a full page or portrait option, you could do that. So what are we going to do with this blank page or for our blank example? What kind of card should we make? Are there any suggestions from attendees on what we should make today? Or anything you would like to see? If there are not, then it is October. I figured we could create a spooky season card.
That's a good idea.
Okay. All right. If there are no other suggestions, then I will show how we can create a spooky season card. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go to elements because we want to find a fun background. So the nice thing is Canva is very seasonal. So it already has these backgrounds here. And again, you can see that there's a lot of premium options, but there's still a lot of fun non-premium options. So we can drag a few over and see if we like the looks of those. This is kind of a fun pumpkin orange, but it has a lot of texture. So that's not something I really want to work with today. Not quite the spooky vibe I'm going for. Now this is kind of a fun spider web effect here, and it is a free option. So maybe I want to work with that, but there's a lot of options here. So if we scroll through, you can find a lot of different style of backgrounds. There's that cute witch. There's a cute bat. A lot of fun options. All right. Scroll back up. Okay. It is a browser-based program, so it does have the normal lag and loading that occurs sometimes. I think we're going to stick with this kind of funky spiderweb option. We're just going to resize this to completely fill our background. Once we click off, I think we do need to go up here to File, View Settings, Show Rulers and Guides, and I also want to show our margins. And I think for this one, I'm going to add some guides. This is just going to help us keep within our space here. So that's 12. You can narrow it down. You can have 3 by 3. I think I like the 3 by 3 as a grid line. We're going to add those. And this is really if you're just very particular about your spacing, which I for one am a bit particular. So once you have sort of a background image, you can have something like this. We may also change our mind and decide we want something like a solid color background. Um, you can also decide if you're doing this electronically, if you want to send a video. And let's see here. Doesn't like background, but if you just type Halloween for shapes, okay. Clear all. Oh, no Halloween shapes. I guess it has to be a bit more specific. That's okay though, because I have images that I want to upload. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to upload the images I have for our spooky season. Okay, so when you upload your images, you are then able to just simply drag and drop them into Canva. And once you do that, you have the ability to resize them. You want to make sure that you have resize and not crop. So that's what I did first is if you click the middle here, that's actually cropping your image. And if you drag up, it'll resize it to bigger. So if you're trying to size down, remember to click on the corners of your design so that then you can place it wherever you would like. Okay, so I'm just focused on getting these onto the page. So it's really simple to add your own personal images to Canva, which is a nice feature. All right, so I've got images on here. This is not necessarily where they're all going to stay. Another thing to note is any images that you are adding to Canva, you want to either make sure that they're your personal images or that if you found them online, that they are commercial use, not commercial use, but personal use, that they are Creative Commons. So a site that I like to use is Pixabay because it allows you to use royalty-free images, royalty-free stock. There are premium options on this site as well. But if you are looking for just some fun images, you can type things in there and find numerous options to kind of mess around with. When you select an image, it then also says that this is free for use. A fun feature about Pixabay is it also does link directly back to Canva for editing. So if you were looking to create personal images and you need to find some fun graphics to work with because you don't have time to create something from scratch or it's just not within your wheelhouse, you can find something on a site like this and link it back directly to Canva. And then, or you can upload previously downloaded designs and then drag them onto your design here. So we've got our graphics. Now we need our message. So we're going to select that text tool over here on the left, and we're going to add a text box. We're going to go ahead and resize that to bigger. And I'm going to click on that font choice. And I want this to be something fun, something kind of fancy, but not too fancy. It's going to use anything you've used previously. And then it's going to give you a preview once you select it. It's going to also try and help you find popular fonts. It's going to show you which ones are, again, premium with that crown. And then it should be alphabetical. Now, if you know the style of font you're looking for, you can do a search for it here. So if you're looking for more, let's see if anything spooky comes up. Nothing comes up for like that genre specific, but if you do a style of writing, like handwriting, then it's going to pull some options that are like, yeah, this is kind of like handwriting. And I kind of like the non-perfect nature of this. Canva is also going to auto color this to the best color based on your background. So we have a very dark background. So I like the fact that it's like, yeah, we're not going to do black. We're not going to do black on black. You can scroll through. I kind of like the thinness of that too, because it does match the spider web. But what are we saying? So we can say, welcome to spooky season. Then you can click off and you can, again, use those grid lines to help you figure out the best location for your text. So the newest thing that you add to Canva will always be on the top. Kind of want this off center. So I like the grid lines for that. Don't necessarily want it on top of the pumpkin. I don't mind being over top of the witch. Let's see. If we want to resize that, can resize without having to increase the font. You can use that corner the same way. And then I think it's missing just a little bit more color. So I think what we're going to do now is actually just add a shape. We're going to add a rectangle, and kind of like on the first design we had, we're going to add a background, except I don't want orange. I think I want this to be purple. And then we're going to make it a bit transparent because that's more spooky. We're going to go ahead and move our pumpkin forward. We're going to go ahead and move our, we're going to move our witch forward. Okay, but there you have it. We have a witch. We have a spooky season card. Okay. All right. Okay. Can everyone hear me? Okay.
I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, I had something come through there. Okay, so this is how you can create your own spooky season card. So once you like what you've put together, so this is again where you can add a page to your card design. So if you wanted to add a fun message here, you could do that again with a text box. It's going to again pull from your recent font. So if you want to just share something like wishing you a terrifying time, you could do so. If you wanted that smaller so that you could This is one case where dragging the middle is fine. Resize to the margins just for funsies. But then you still have space here. You can also add an image either from here or a new image. So if we wanted that witch again, you could just copy and paste it here and make it a little smaller. We've got a fun little spooky season card. And then share and download it as a PNG, and you're all set. So unless there are any questions about how to use Canva, thank you for joining us. real quick, just some other resources and things that'll pop up at the end of this program. We do have a survey that if you fill out helps us curate more content like this for your enjoyment, covers skills and things, lets us know how you found us, and just how we can improve and do better. And of course, on our library website, if you go to Research and Learn, we have a bunch more resources that you can access to learn more about Canva and more. All right. So thank you all again so much for joining us. We really, really appreciate you being here. We hope you learned something today. And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. We do have a book a librarian service that is free with a library card where you can book a free half-hour one-on-one session to work through either a research question or a project on just all the things you can do with Canva. All right. Thank you so much.